All right, what is up, everybody? We are live. Got the paint scheme preview down in the top of the comments, actually, and the Discord link. If you want to join the Discord link, got a few interesting paint schemes here today. Will not lie. The orange Kubota of Ross Chastain, always a good job from Ross Chastain and the Trackhouse gang. Another orange car, the Auto Trader machine this weekend for Austin Cindric on that cut line, which we'll get to right after we go through the paint schemes. Toys for Tots, always a good cause there on the side of the number 3 for Austin Dillon. I'm going to go ahead and put him in the top 5 and leave him in there just because I like the cause, and it's like sort of an American flag reference on the paint scheme. So we'll start him off in the top 5 here. Farm Rich here on the side for Noah Gregson and the number 4 Ford Mustang Dark Horse. HendrickCars.com for Kyle Larson. Build Submarines with the ugliest possible paint scheme of all time. If you're a New York Yankees fan. If you're not a New York Yankees fan and prefer the Boston Red Sox, you're absolutely probably going to love the Build Submarines number 6 of Brad Keselowski. Good scheme. Due to the baseball team allegiance, I can't put it in my top 5, though. Just going to keep it real. Number 7, Nations Guard there for Justin Haley. Morgan & Morgan on the side of Kyle Busch's number 8 Chevrolet. If you drive across the country, you will see at least 1 million Morgan & Morgan billboards, as well as 1 million Mark Spain real estate billboards. Morgan & Morgan on the side of the number 8 for Kyle Busch. They apparently print money down there at Morgan & Morgan. Auto Parts, Napa on the side of the number 9 for Chase Elliott. The regular blue scheme. Seabest going with a different scheme this week. Looks like a seafood boil on the side here of the number 10 for Ty Dillon. Orange, yellow, orange fading into yellow, yellow fading into orange on a sort of a Duke blue, royal blue background. Good looking car there. Not going to put it in my top 5, though. Progressive number 11, those petty blue colors on that number 11. Not a bad looking car, but we've seen it a million times at this point from James Dennis Allen Hamlin. Menards on the side for Ryan Blaney, and Libman is going to be on the hood this week of the Menards Ford. Camper Inn and RV, number 16 of AJ Allmendinger. We've seen this one a few times, but not a bad looking scheme at all. Got the little guy there at the back waving the green and white checkered flag, resembling the stage wins. Will he get a stage win today? He's had some speed, but hasn't had race speed. He's had some good qualifying speed these last couple of weekends for sure. Not even going to try to attempt to, you know what? Yeah, Will. Flublock. We're going to go with Flublock influenza vaccine on the side of Chris Buescher's number 17. Kroger Health, Ford Mustang Dark Horse there. Not really a great scheme, but a really fun word to attempt to pronounce. Probably didn't say it right. Tracker, ATVs, and Boats is going to be on the side of Chase Briscoe's number 19. Martin Truex Jr. had a lot of good success here. We will see if Chase Briscoe can replicate that in the number 19 as well. Number 20, I think one of the men to watch here, one of the men to beat, is going to be Christopher Bell in the Ream Toyota, but a normal paint scheme for him. Back to the normal paint scheme here for Josh Berry, who has absolutely great speed, which we'll get to when we get to the qualifying section. But the Wood Brothers car, always a good-looking car. The 22 Shell Pennzoil car, a normal scheme for him. The McDonald's Fries car, love this car, putting it in the top 5. 23 here for Bubba Wallace. Don't see it often enough. I like the ketchup and the fries. They did a pretty good job there. Raptor, still striking out. Good colors, bad scheme for William Byron in the number 24. Grillo's Pickles, immediately to the number 1 spot, is the pickle car of Pickle Todd. They could actually call it the pickle car now on the side of this machine. Great looking car, definitely in my top 5. Beatbox also going to go in my top 5. The bright neon colors on a black background, hard to beat for Riley Herbst and the number 35 Toyota for 2311. Long John Silver's always a staple here on the Front Row Motorsports machine. Zane Smith in the number 38 will be riding along. Best chicken tenders in the game. Well-established facts. 42, Pyre and Barker on the side of John Hunter Nemechek. Pye and Barker, I should say. Family Dollar on the side for Eric Jones. Sirius XM Satellite, the number 45, blue and white here for Tyler Reddick this weekend. 47, Hayek Motorsports is sponsoring the Hayek car for Ricky Stenhouse Jr. I guess they couldn't find a sponsor for this one, but they've had some really good sponsors for every other race this season. So hopefully this isn't a trend that continues, but good that that they've got the money and the backing to be able to self-sponsor here, as many teams often do. 48 Ally, their normal scheme. 54 Monster, brand new scheme. We've never seen it before for Ty Gibbs. 60 Mohawk, good-looking scheme, red, white, and blue here for Ryan Priest. Mohawk Northeast incorporated on that Ford Mustang Dark Horse. 71 Gainbridge here for Michael McDowell. 77 Delaware Life, and here we go. The Jockey's underwear car will be driven by Shane Van Gisbergen, who had an excellent qualifying effort, which we'll talk on in just a minute. So I'm going to put that one, and I think that makes 5 now. So that is going to be the ultimate 5 here. And then the 99 Choice Privileges for Daniel Suarez, another orange car. So we'll bump that one in there if I don't have 5 already. All right, that's what they look like. What are they racing for? Here's your cut line. Austin Cindric, -1 below the cut line. -2 for Joey Logano. -2 for Ross Chastain. -3 for Tyler Reddick. Bubba Wallace is at +1, just above the cut line. +5 for Chase Elliott. +10 for Chase Briscoe. Ryan Blaney, +19, +20 for Seabell. And then you got Kyle Larson and William Byron at +24. And James Hamlin has most wiggle room at +26, but nobody is safe. And then the Farm Rich Ford is 33rd. Daniel Suarez in the 99, 32nd. Cole Custer, Austin Dillon, and John Hunter Nemechek take us into the top 29 with 28th position. Austin Dillon just in front of them. Chase Elliott in the Napa Auto Parts Chevrolet rolls off 27th. Aaron Jones in the 26th position. Riley Hurst rolls off 25th. 24th position is going to be occupied by Kyle Busch, and the Morgan & Morgan Chevrolet just in front of him is going to be Ryan Priest, Austin Cindric, and Justin Haley. The 20th place qualifier is going to be Zane Smith. In front of him, Christopher Bell, and then Chase Briscoe in the 19 car in the 18th position. Brad Keselowski in the BuildSubmarines.com Ford rolls off 17th. Kyle Larson just in front of him in 16th. 15th place position is going to be Chris Buescher, Bubba Wallace, Ty Gibbs, AJ Allmendinger rolls off in the 12th position. Michael McDowell in the Gainbridge Chevrolet rolls off 11th. And your top 10. The underwear car, Jockey's Infinite Cool Underwear Chevrolet, Shane Van Gisbergen with a top 10 qualifying effort on an oval that cannot be overlooked. Should you put him in your fantasy? We're going to take a look at that in just a minute when we get to statistics. But in front of him in the 9th position is Denny Hamlin, a guy that has a lot of success here. Ross Chastain, Kubota Chevrolet in 8th place. Alex Bowman in the Ally Chevy is rolling off 7th. Carson Hocevar, the Delaware Life Chevrolet, rolls off in 6th place. And 5th through 1st is going to be William Byron in the Raptor Chevrolet. In front of him in the 4th position is going to be Tyler Reddick in the Sirius XM Toyota. Josh Berry in the Motorcraft Quick Lane Ford rolls off 3rd. Hopefully he can have some better luck. What bittersweet glory it would be if he could win this race after just getting eliminated. An atrocious start to the playoffs. Terrible start for the Wood brothers. But if he wins here today, maybe that'll be a little bit of a silver lining for next season. Great that they made, of course, the playoffs, but just an awful start to it, unfortunately for him. Hopefully that bad luck goes away today. Ryan Blaney is going to be your outside pole sitter, and Joey Logano. Mr. Shows up when the playoffs really start, is going to roll off in 1st position. Can he get the win here today? If you look at those first 3, they're all Fords. First Chevrolet is 5th, and the first Toyota is 4th. So there you go. All right, that is where they qualified. How will that qualifying play off into how they typically run here? Best average finish since 2022 is going to be Josh Berry in one race at a 3.0, but he's qualified 3rd here, so that could bode well for him. Kevin Harvick and Martin Truex Jr. are going to be next on that list at 4.5 and 4.7, but both are retired, so the 4th place man is actually 2nd in current running order here at 7.0. Kyle Larson is the best average finisher that has completed all 3 races since 2022. John Hunter Nemechek, 1 race, 8.0. Chase Briscoe, 9.0. So if you combine Chase Briscoe's stats with, how Martin Truex Jr. has run here, Chase Briscoe looking like an optimal performer here for your fantasy team as well. Christopher Bell at a 10.3, Chase Elliott 10.7, Tyler Reddick 11.0, Denny Hamlin 12.3, and also 12.3 for Chris Buescher. All right. Previous winners of this race include 2 times young Christopher Bell, and Martin Truex Jr. is the other one. So that bodes well once again for Chase Briscoe, who absolutely has to be on your radar. Top 10s, Martin Truex Jr. had 3 of them, once again boding well for Chase Briscoe, who has 2. Among the other drivers that have 2 are Kyle Larson, Tyler Reddick, Denny Hamlin, Brad Keselowski, Ross Chastain, Bubba Wallace, and Christopher Bell. Don't sleep on Bubba Wallace either. Now we'll go to laps led, because that is a key factor here. And of course, Martin Truex Jr. at 426 is the man here. Unfortunately, he is retired, but it does bode well for Chase Briscoe. 192, though, for Christopher Bell, who is in the field. Just behind him at 54 is going to be Chase Elliott. 53 for Tyler Reddick. 43 for Denny Hamlin. 40 for Kurt Busch, not in the field as well. And 27 for Joey Logano. So there you go. There are your lap leaders. Everybody else is below 20 laps led or more. And let's go to driver average rating. And if he was in the field, Martin Truex Jr. would be the man to beat, but he's not. So it's going to be Christopher Bell, Josh Berry, Joey Logano, Chase Elliott, and Kyle Larson. As far as statistically, who is going to be your favorites to go here? A 114 at the top there for C. Bell, and at the bottom a 97.0 for Larson in that particular comparison. But don't sleep on Denny Hamlin or Bubba Wallace. Nobody's really talking about this being a good track for Bubba Wallace, but he has an 86.6 rating here. I think he is going to be your wild card for this particular race. And I think another wild card is probably going to be Chase Briscoe. I don't think a lot of people think about him being really good here, but given Martin Truex Jr.'s success, given that it even in other equipment that wasn't Joe Gibbs Racing, Chase Briscoe was good here. He's definitely got to be one of your favorites as well. But statistically, by the numbers, this is Christopher Bell's race to lose, but also another wild card, of course, but his numbers pan out well for him is going to be Josh Berry. So there you go. I'm picking Christopher Bell as the favorite, and as a wild card, flip a coin between Bubba Wallace or Josh Berry, but it really would not surprise me at all because statistically, I think it lines up for Chase Briscoe, but I'm going to go with Christopher Bell for the overall win here today. But Joey Logano might have found something in practice here for the Fords. So, if you're a Ford guy, you definitely, I think you would pick Joey Logano. And I think Chevrolet's best. I think Chevrolet's best chance is either going to be Kyle Larson or Chase Elliott, which kind of brings me to the point. Chevrolet and Hendrick just might be in trouble. They just might be in trouble. Like everybody was worried about Ford until the qualifying effort here from Team Penske. Chevrolet and Hendrick might be in trouble for these playoffs. That's the one I would be most worried about as far as which manufacturer has the best chance of winning. All right, do have a poll question up. Who below how? It's supposed to say who makes it that is below the cut line currently? Austin Cindric, Joey Logano, Ross Chastain, or Tyler Reddick? Go ahead and get your vote in, and we will jump into the chat and see what you want to talk about. BB, it was a rain-shortened New Hampshire race. 19-year-old Joey Logano would score his first win. Tonight, he goes for his 38th win, and I think he's got a pretty good chance whenever he qualifies on the pole. He, especially when it comes to playoff time, I do think he has a good chance. Big Wheel, what's up, my buddy? Saying, love the Baloney Man. Best info on the web. I appreciate you, Big Wheel. I do my best, and I appreciate the support. As always. Shah saying the possum for sure makes it, talking about Joey Logano. That is his new nickname for Joey Logano. Jamie Schweitzer saying former Upper Puna resident here, Big Wheel. So there you go. Jamie Schweitzer has spent some time on I don't know if that's on the Big Island or the Small Island, but or one of the small islands. But there you go. Jamie Schweitzer, also Hawaii man. Bruce Garvey, the CBS NFL show has me tripping on their 50th anniversary show. How did we really all dress that bad in 1975? That's a great question. I wasn't around for that, but there was definitely some interesting fashion styles. I remember a lot of the wedding pictures I used to see back in the day from that era. There was the powder blue tux. Can we bring the powder blue tux back, please? Like that was something other than Dumb and Dumber. That was certainly a scene back then. They didn't go with the normal traditional black tux. They went with the powder blue a lot of times, which was certainly a choice. Certainly a choice. The flared collars, a big part of the 70s as well. My butterfly dollars and bell bottoms looked great in and bell bottoms. There you go. Oh, the butterfly collar. That's what they were called. Okay, so not flared, but a butterfly collar and bell bottoms, says Jamie Schweitzer. Who you got today going to be hard to beat, the 22 or the 12? I certainly think that they're going to be hard to beat. But if you just go by the numbers, it's really hard to bet against Christopher Bell here. I feel like he's going to have something. But yeah, Joey Logano, certainly going to have something to say about this. And also, I think Chase Briscoe and, of course, the 12 car, Ryan Blaney, he always, as long as he finishes the race, he usually has something to say about the finish of it. Bruce Garvey, I was 2 years old. I had no choice in clothing, says Shah. What's up, John Ray? Good to see you on here. Seems like Seabest Should have had a big lobster on it. It does feel like a miss, Sha. I agree with you. It does feel like a miss from Seabest. They should have had some type of lobster on this car. But the scheme itself is not bad. Just not in my top 5. But yeah, certainly a good scheme for them as well. Thoughts on Burnett leaving the 8 car after this season? Probably be a good change for both, says Dirty Def. My thoughts on that is they're probably bringing in Rodney Childers. No inside information, but I'm pretty sure they're probably bringing in Rodney Childers. And Burnett's probably, in my opinion, going to go wherever Tyler Reddick goes, which is probably 2311. So we'll see. We'll see. But that's all just speculation and guessing from me. Let's see. Good afternoon. BB says PC Gone Rogue. What's up, PC Gone Rogue? Good to see you on here, my friend Jamie and Shaw. I am embarrassed to say I had a closet full of clothes, says Bruce Garvey from that era. How makes it? LOL, says Escobar. Yeah, indeed. Type that a little too fast. So yeah, how makes it? How makes it in for sure. It's supposed to say who makes it in. It is what it is. Another high quality poll here on the live streams. What happens in Victory Lane in New Hampshire if a driver is highly allergic to the shellfish? Well, I imagine they just don't touch it, and they probably keep it away from Pickle Todd. Or a Pickle Todd car looks more like an alligator, in my opinion, says Shy. Yeah, it's a bunch of different pickles. Sort of a, what do you call that? Not a montage, but a collage. It's a collage of pickles. So it does have sort of a textured look to it, but it's supposed to be a collage of pickles. Let's see. Was excited to see Ross finish top 10, but we be surprised if he is able to stay up there. Seems like every week he'll fall out of the top 10 and can't get back up there. Yeah, he plays the track position game. He's one of the best restarters in the game. So it's going to depend on if we have a bunch of restarts or not. And if he has a long run or a short run car, that's probably going to be the test on that particular deal for sure. Ross did the tire test, so hopefully that helps, says Shy. Indeed. I think the drivers that did the tire test are certainly going to have an upper hand. They did feel like Joey Logano found something that they didn't, and he was the fastest in those tire tests as well. So it's going to be hard to bet against Joey Logano. But if Joey Logano is your favorite, I would say the guys that can beat him are probably driving those Toyotas, and it's going to be Christopher Bell or Chase Briscoe. Denny Hamlin as well. Certainly you can never bet against Denny Hamlin. Let's see. Tire fall off has me curious, says Shy. Yeah, we'll see if these tires are as soft as the Bristol tires, or do we have sort of a normal track position type race in between the lanes. What's up, my dude? Glad to see you on here. Will there be any tire fall off, says Shy. Joey the Possum Logano for the win. Yeah, he did the tire test, so it's really going to be hard to bet against him. I agree with that, but I just got to go statistically by the numbers. It looks like a Christopher Bell. It sort of looks like a Joe Gibbs racing track, but we've seen Joey Logano find something in the tire test, so I wouldn't necessarily bet against it either, as far as the 22 or the 12 go. I would hate to see this, but if the final 4 being Hamlin, Bell, Briscoe, and Bubbles, if not Bubbles, then Blaney, says Escobar. Yeah, Toyota found something, but this is the time of the season where you typically see Penske show what they've got. You see Penske, all of their cards in their full hand. So I don't know. I think we're going to get 2 Toyotas. We're going to get at least 1 Ford, possibly 2 Fords. I'm concerned about Chevrolet, though. Hendrick, they've gotten some good finishes, but I haven't seen any race-winning speed from the Chevrolet camp, and it could be a number of things. The nose, the body is very old. It's dated at this point. The other manufacturers have newer bodies with better aero, and they're starting to not only have they caught up to all of the data that Chevrolet had running that car, but now they're surpassing them because they figured out, the reason they changed those noses and fenders for a reason, right? So if I was a Chevrolet fan, I would be worried because it just doesn't look like Chevrolet has any race-winning speed, either Trackhouse or Hendrick at this point. But they're hanging on and getting good finishes, but I don't think hanging on and getting good finishes is going to win you a championship. But, we've seen stranger things. Josh Benton, BB, what's up, brother? I feel like there will be a surprise winner today, says Josh. Could be for sure. It just depends on how you define surprise winner. There's definitely a lot of different people statistically who are good at this track, including Josh Berry, including Bubba Wallace, I don't think a lot of people have their finger on Chase Briscoe, even though statistically he's been very good here, and he is driving Martin Truex Jr.'s car, and Martin Truex Jr. More or less owned this track. So those 3, I think, would probably surprise a lot of people if they won. Chase Elliott being pretty good at this track, too. If they can figure out what's going on over there at Hendrick and Chevrolet, he might be one to keep an eye on as well. Joey was the fastest at the tire test last month, and Chase Elliott may be in trouble with that qualifying effort. Not an easy place to pass as their def. Yeah, it is certainly going to be something they're going to have to manage in the pits to try to pick him up some spots there, whether it be like a short pit, leapfrog, whatever you got to do. You got to get him some spots on pit road to give him a fighting chance. But he is really good here. So that's statistically at least. Blaney was crazy good in practice for long runs. Not surprising. Blaney likes a long run car and qualifying fast, possibly the strongest winning pick, says Shaw. Yeah, not a bad pick. Like I said, as long as Ryan Blaney finishes the race, it's hard to pick against him because he's normally there at the end when he finishes. Denny Hamlin's pit crew will make a mistake, costing Denny Hamlin the loophole JGR used will come back and bite them in the butt today, says Joseph Wooten. So there you go. Joseph Wooten thinking that the karma of extending or delaying that particular pit crew member or those two particular pit crew members from being switched out is going to bite them in the butt. We'll see. Bite them right in the bell bottoms if you want to go to that. Speaking of bell bottoms, PC on road. Bell bottoms were popular then. So I had some. Says PC. Bell bottoms were also popular in the 90s. They made like a little comeback in the 90s. That like capri pants and bell bottoms in the 90s. Mid 2000s almost or early 2000s 90s bell bottoms and capri pants made a comeback if I'm not mistaken. Hi y'all from North Idaho, says Cassandra. What's up, Cassandra? What's up, North Idaho? I would take the 1970s fashion over some of the stuff I see people wearing today, says Joseph Wooten, which is ironic because 90s fashion is what most people are wearing today, as baggy as humanly possible. And you know, some people back then didn't like it. Some people still today don't like it. It is what it is. It's ironic seeing some people complain about the stuff that they actually wore in the 90s, which is super, super fun for me to just sit back and watch sometimes. So social media does have some value as far as that goes. Bring back the Jinko jeans. Bring back, if you want to go maximum baggy, I want to see the Zoomers wearing some Jinkos or whatever. They might be. I don't know. I'm not that up to date with it. Chase Elliott for the win today, says Joseph Wooten. Carson is in my garage this week. Carson's not a bad pick if he finishes the race. Like, that's the only issue with Spire. They run good, but they don't often finish the race or get the finish that they were looking for how the car performed. Just Wooten going with the Chase Elliott win here today, though. Arca West at Madera Speedway on the 27th, says Nachos. There you go. Madera Speedway, Arca West. Arca West is in the house. My sources has Tyler Reddick going to the 48 in 2026, says Joseph Wooten. Hey, there you go. If they can pick up Tyler Reddick, that would be a huge score for Hendrick Motorsports, especially if they can get Randall Burnett to go over there with him. That was a very good team at RCR, and if they can pair those two together, I think you would be able to hit the ground running. No shade to Alex Bowman, who I think is an amazing driver, but if Joseph Wooten's rumors hold true, that would be a hell of a combination if they could make that happen. It will be funny next year. Joey old enough to be Zilly's father, says Jamie Schweitzer. There's a lot of people old enough to be Zilly's father. He's only like 19 or 20, right? If somebody is that allergic to shellfish, you would think they would notify the track if that was an issue. Yeah, for sure. Certainly. That would be that would definitely you would imagine would be on the radar of at least the PR teams for the teams themselves, right? So let's see here. Cool weather today in New Hampshire, a high of 70, and it looked like the cooler weather made the tires wear more at Bristol, so we'll see if that affects the tires at all here today as well. It got into the 30s last night at the track, says PC on road. Crazy finish to that modified race. I don't know if you guys saw that, but my man didn't even have a front tire and still won the race, riding the wall like he was Ross Chastain at Martinsville, except this guy put him in the wall, not on purpose. They made some contact and put him in the wall, but he still won the race. It was a cross between Ross Chastain and the movie Cars, where Lightning McQueen rode the fence. But it happened in real life. Crazy finish. Check that one out on the replay if you haven't seen it. HMS has played possum in the first round, says Joseph Wooten. Could be. Certainly Penske played possum in the first round, and now you're seeing the Penske speed. The next two races, Kansas and the Roval, I think give Chevy a fighting chance to do well this round for sure. Will they get the setup from the 88 car? Will all the Chevy teams get the setup from the 88 car is the real question. I know at least the one car will. The problem with Chevy is the old nose. Once they get back in traffic, they have just one more issue for having trouble passing. So, yeah, that and restrictor plate tracks like we have, coming up at Talladega. in this playoff. I don't know if it's this round or the next round, but Talladega is going to be an issue too because they don't push as good as the other cars. Certainly, I agree with you. I think the nose is dated and they need to refresh it for sure. Who will be the third legacy car since they are officially getting Rick Ware's charter? That's another one. Dirty Def. It's probably been the driest NASCAR news cycle I have seen in quite some time, and even the news that came out, like Rick Ware Racing and Legacy, they settled their lawsuit. Legacy is going to get the charter, but then they wouldn't release any details about it, like any details about how it was settled or anything. So you just know that it's no longer a court issue. It's settled and it's over with, but literally nothing else. They wouldn't say anything else about it. It was such a weird press release. But yeah, so now it goes to who will they put in that car? I think odds are it's going to be either Jesse Love or Corey Haim. And if the rumors are true, they talked a whole lot about it being Jesse Love. So it might be Jesse Love's ride next season over there at Legacy. But we'll have to see how it all plays out. Like I said, it's all rumor and innuendo as it is right now. Will Legacy get a top 10? And by how? Says, sir, I appreciate you, sir, Wood Rooster. I see what you did there. I appreciate it. Let's see. Who is the better of the two here at New Hampshire for the Legacy gang? Let's go to average finish because it's not looking good for average rating. Oh boy! So Eric Jones is 15th in average finish. So it looks like if you're betting on who's going to get the better finish, it looks like Eric Jones has a pretty good handle on this place. And scrolling down here to John Hunter Nemechek, he did not. I don't know how many races he has run here since 2022. John Hunter Nemechek. He's not even listed. So I would have to say it's probably going to be Eric Jones. No, John Hunter Nemechek has one race and he finished 8th here. So in his one race, he has finished in 8th place. I wasn't looking high enough for JHN. So one race, I don't know. According to this, he has an average start of 28th, but a best finish of 8th. It's a one race sample, so it's hard to say. His driver average rating is 54, whereas Eric Jones is 57.7. So I like driver averages and how they do things, driveraverages.com and how they do things. Looks like a slight edge to Eric Jones, but really it's a coin flip. It's 57.7 to 54.2. So I'll go slight edge to Eric Jones there for Legacy on how gets the top 10 or however mistyped the poll question here today. Let's see. I had bell bottoms from 88 to 92 when I was in the Navy. Says PC gone rogue. Yeah, there you go. The Navy keeping it in style for a long period of time. Cracker Jacks uniform, if I'm not mistaken. Some Hugo Boss jeans as well, says Dirty Def. So Dirty Def wants to bring back the Hugo Boss jeans. What else was it? There was Polo jeans, Hugo Boss. Bongo or something like that was a big one for girls. Tommy Hilfiger jeans, I remember that being like a big thing for a little while. The 90s had some fashion for sure. Calvin Klein, Boogle Boy. How does Josh Berry finish 36th? Oh, that's a good question. Will he have bad luck once again to start this playoffs? He's had bad luck. Will this bad luck he started the playoffs with continue? That's the real question. I don't know what will go wrong for the 21 car today. Will it catch on fire? Will it wreck? Will the engine expire? He's run the gamut. He's run the gamut. So we know Hamlin is retiring after 2027. Will Busch or Keselowski join him? Says Jamie Schweitzer. Oh, I don't know. That's a great question. Heim time tied the Biff for most wins with 9. Most wins in a season, I think. Yeah, for sure. Corey Haim having one of the all-time great truck seasons. We'll see if Lane Riggs can do anything with him. I don't know who else is in. Maybe Tom Majeski. Who else is in the running there in the Truck Series playoffs? Dirty Def Legacy not going to 3 cars until 2027, and RFK gives back the current charter and gets the other for 2026, according to Breakart. So there you go. Breakart is on it with his inside info. Legacy is not going to 3 cars until 2027, so it won't be 2026. There you go. That was the info that wasn't revealed and shared to probably the public. I don't know. I didn't really look into it. I just thought it was a really weird thing to just not talk about. Like, we got the charter, but we're not going to talk about it. Like, it was just a really weird press release. It was just like, all right, thanks for nothing. Let's see, John Ray. Let's go, Denny Hamlin. But Breakard, he's usually on top of his stuff. So yeah, I'll go with whatever Breakard said, 100%. Let's go, Denny Hamlin, says John Ray. Josh Berry parks it in victory lane to spoil round 2. And how bittersweet would that be? Like, what if the 21 car wins today after basically just getting eliminated from the playoffs for having a horrible start to the playoffs? Terrible start. But it would be a bittersweet win if he could get it today. First modified to a wall ride to a win was Richie Evans. He beat Jeff Bodine in Martinsville in 1981. Very famous photo, says Bruce Garvey. So there you go. He is not the first to do it. I can't even remember who did it last night. I think it was like a blue 3 car, if I'm not mistaken. Jesse Love over Corey Heim for a cup ride. That seems like a bright idea. So I don't know. They're both pretty good. Like, it's the flip a coin. Like, I wouldn't bet against Jesse Love, and I definitely wouldn't bet against Corey Heim for sure. Josh Berry is the championship leader on Earth 2, says Joseph Wooten. Who wins on Earth 2, BB? I'm calling SVG. Oh, Earth 2. SVG qualified pretty good, though, man. I don't know. Oh, wow. Earth 2. Who's an Earth 2er? Who's an Earth 2 lifer? You got Ricky Stenhouse on a hard-to-pass track, and he qualified in 34th. He's back there with Cody Ware, Noah Gregson, and Daniel Suarez, all very aggressive drivers. I'm going to go Ricky Stenhouse Jr. wins on Earth 2. I'm calling it now. I can almost foresee the wreck happening before it happens. Female pants, Gloria Vanderbilt, says PC Gone Rogue. Gloria Vanderbilt pants. I'm not familiar with that one. So that one was above my knowledge of 90s fashion. My go-to 90s jeans were Boss and Guess. Guess jeans, I forgot about them. Escobar with the Guess jeans for sure. I think Legacy will have to lease their new charter for RFK. Of course, the famous jeans commercial from the late 80s, early 90s was, "Are those Bugle Boy jeans you're wearing?" I thought so. And then the person would drive off. I think Legacy will have to lease their new charter to RFK for 2026, which was a stipulation out of their court settlement, says Sir Wood Rooster. So there you go. RFK will retain it for 2026, and then everything is going to be kosher for sure. Shout out to Breakard indeed, in between the lanes, doing the Lord's work, keeping track of him and Eric Estep, keeping track of all the NASCAR news. Where is Bill? Starting, says Jamie Schweitzer. I think he's starting top 15. Let me go back here to the starting order. C-Bill, 19th, rolling off 19th here today. So he's got a few cars to pass, but I wouldn't sleep on him for sure. P19, says Asha. Better late than never. Let's go 2014. So there you go. Say Kyle in the house, hoping that the 2014 can get the win here. Chevrolet needs some momentum. That could be their guy. William Byron has been the best of the Chevrolets overall this season, all season long. So he might be the Chevrolet guy that gets into that Final Four. One wise guy. Good morning to you as well, my friend. Shout out to Chaps. Chaps was, basically a Ralph Lauren brand, but yeah, Chaps was big in the 90s as well. Dirty Def on top of it. Good morning, Sunshine, says Shah. Hello, LOL. Good morning, Shah. How many cautions, BB, says Jamie Schweitzer? Oh, that's a great question. It's either going to go, I think we're going to get at least one long green flag run, but I do think we'll have over 5 cautions. No like button today. Hey, if you want to hit the like button, feel free to hit the like button. But yeah, I'm definitely going to go over 5 cautions. Poll question once again is, who, not how, I mistyped that. Who makes it to that below the cut current? Who makes it that is below the cut currently? I could have worded that any possibly worse as well. Cindric, Logano, or Chastain? Right now, Logano leading with 57%, 25% for Chastain, 10% for Reddick, and 8% for Cindric. There you go. Any famous Grand Marshals, says Jimmy Switzer? I don't know. I hadn't looked up all that stuff, to be totally honest with you. Red Zone is on. So there you go. Football is in full effect. The Red Zone channel is activated, and it looks like we've reached the end of it. Lordy, I hope the trucks don't indicate the number of cautions, says Shy. Yeah, the truck race was that was pretty caution-filled for sure. We won this week, by the way, at Orange County with Craig Moore Racing, the number 11, Fear the 11. We won in the vintage class at Orange County. So, yeah, but looks like we've reached the end of the chat. So we will run it back on Tuesday, possibly before. Might do a Monday stream. I don't know. We'll see how it all plays out. All right. Until the next one, y'all take them easy. Peace.